Hello, everyone. My name's Diana Tran, and I'm going to be going over my community windshield survey. The two cities that I'm going to be comparing are Santa Ana and Fountain Valley. So, assessment. In the city of Santa Ana, I will be mostly focusing on the area code 92703, and in Fountain Valley, I will be focusing on the area code 92708. Physical environment. Santa Ana appears mostly dirty. Poverty level is evident. It's very unkempt. It definitely needs some upgrading. The streets are cracked, and there's less landscape and trees versus in Fountain Valley. In Fountain Valley, the streets are very well maintained, clean, well kept, adequately maintained, and funded, and it's full of luscious trees and nice landscaping. It definitely seems that there is some money invested into making the city look very neat. In Santa Ana, as you can see in the photos, you can see the rusty fences and trash. And in Fountain Valley, you can see the remodeled buildings and the very nice streets. General appearance. In Santa Ana, there's very old and worn out. Lots look abandoned in some areas. There are places where wildlife can thrive. Many trashed areas. Garbage dumpsters are in business lots, and some places are even graffitied on. Fountain Valley, the buildings are mostly new and updated. Lots are used to build new businesses and apartment homes, and most of the old homes have been remodeled. Here are some more photos. Boundaries. Santa Ana is bordered by Highway 55 on the east side. Westminster Avenue borders the north side. On the west side, Euclid Street is the border, and Interstate 405 borders the south side. In Fountain Valley, the city is located in southwest and northeast of Interstate 405, and it's surrounded by Garden Grove on the north side. Santa Ana borders on the northeast side, and the eastern border is the Santa Ana River. Housing-wise, you see here in the picture in Santa Ana, it definitely looks like they need to upgrade. They need a new paint job, and it looks old and worn down. In Fountain Valley, the houses look remodeled. There are some old homes, but they look like they've been repainted, and they look like they've been invested in to build new structures. Signs of decay in Santa Ana. The air quality was a lot musty and unclean. There was trash on the street, especially near bus stations. In Fountain Valley, you can smell a stench of garbage smell in the air by the sewers, but it's definitely being worked and repaired on at the moment. There's also trash cans next to the bus stations to prevent littering. Demographic-wise, Santa Ana's total population is 335,400 people, and the majority of the population is Hispanic at 78.6%. Asians make up 10.4%, whites make up 47.3%, and the poverty level is 22.1%, according to the Census Bureau of 2014. In Fountain Valley, total population is 56,987. The majority of the population is white descent of 53.6%. Asians make up 35.1%, and Hispanics make up 15.1%. Poverty level is 7.1%. So comparing those two, there is definitely a big difference. Homogeneity. In Santa Ana, most of the individuals were of Latino and Hispanic descent, and they dressed in t-shirts and jeans. There are also some workers that appear dirty looking with t-shirts from their construction sites. And then in Fountain Valley, the majority of whites were wearing athletic gear, sweatshirts, and if they're going to work, they're usually in business attire. Some of the population were seen in casual business attire while they were socializing at local Starbucks. The healthy behaviors that you see in each city, in Santa Ana, you see mostly overweight people, and you can see them walking to bus stations to and from work. You can also see that most people use the bus or drive. Several people are seen walking out of the gas stations with cigarette packages. According to the Census Bureau, without insurance, there's about 32.5% of the population. In Fountain Valley, people are seen mostly walking their dogs, jogging, biking, skating at Miles Square Park and in the neighborhoods. And according to Census Bureau 2009 data, 82.7% drive cars to work. And they also use the bus system. Many people are usually seen walking to the gyms, and they look about average to overweight in their figures. But without insurance, it's 11.7% of the population, which is a huge difference from Santa Ana. So the four major health problems as identified in Healthy People 2020. In Santa Ana, there's a lack of access to health services. Occupational safety and health is a main concern. Also, nutritional obesity and tobacco use. In Fountain Valley, tobacco use is also a major concern. Diabetes, reproductive and sexual health, and also older adult health is a problem. The risk factors that are seen in Santa Ana, people were usually seen sitting by bus stations smoking. There's also a lot of trash on the sidewalks, bus stations, and empty lots. Also, there are many fast food places. In Fountain Valley, smoke shops were usually seen everywhere. There's no Planned Parenthoods for sexual education, and there's also many fast food places as well. Here's some more photos. Parks and recreation. Both cities had a lot of parks and areas for children to play and for families to spend time. In Santa Ana, there are many parks, but they just don't look safe. Also in Fountain Valley, there's a Boys and Girls Club right next to Miles Square Park. There's some sports centers to enroll the children in, and golfing is very popular at the park. Religion-wise, Santa Ana has more of a diversity in religion versus Fountain Valley. Fountain Valley, I saw mostly Christian and Catholic churches. Santa Ana, you see temples and also Catholic and Christian churches as well. Transportation-wise, mostly people drive cars in Santa Ana, but they also walk to work and use the bus system. Fountain Valley, most people drive to work to get around, but they also use the bus system as well. Also, freeways are in close distances for people to get around much more efficiently. Health and social services. Santa Ana has many libraries and dental businesses, and also many health clinics and billboards. No hospitals were seen in the area. There's a lot of car wash businesses and community farms. In Fountain Valley, there are two major hospitals in the area, Fountain Valley Hospital and Orange Coast Memorial. Golfing is the place to be, and also gyms as well. Protective services, there are many fire stations in Santa Ana as well as police stations, and also in Fountain Valley, But the police stations were definitely bigger in size compared to Santa Ana. Education-wise, there's a lot of learning centers in Santa Ana, as well as schools that were gated with surveillance cameras. In Fountain Valley, schools looked a lot more open to the public, and there are tutoring centers found on almost every shopping center. Stores and shops, Santa Ana structures look really old and run down. In Fountain Valley, the businesses are being built currently and expanded, and also apartments are being built next to shopping centers. Economically, Santa Ana has mostly construction businesses, car washes, and restaurants. Major employers are retail businesses and construction. Signs of poverty would be the trash streets, businesses looking old, and there are many homeless people roaming the streets. As far as Fountain Valley, business and industry is that they have a lot of gyms, fitness centers, restaurants, and leisure activities. And the major employers are healthcare centers and businesses. And signs of poverty are there's a couple of dirty places, but they're not as much as in Santa Ana. The strengths in the Santa Ana community are there's political advertisements and billboards that increase awareness of making the city a better place. Educational resources are abundant, and protective services are growing in numbers. Strength in Fountain Valley is that there's many fitness centers for the public to promote exercise and wellness. Education is abundant as well, and environment is clean. Health resources are at every corner of the community, and there's a growing resource for the elderly population. So as I stated, there are a lot of libraries in Santa Ana and education learning centers. Fountain Valley, there's a lot of medical centers, and grocery shopping options are everywhere. As far as the interviews with the stakeholders in Santa Ana, both stakeholders that I interviewed talked about homelessness being the main concern, and that there should be more funding to provide healthy food. And also, it's very difficult to find resources, even though they get donations. As far as Boys and Girls Club, Nicole has stated that obesity was a major problem that she saw in children at the club. And that is why they have so many programs to promote exercise and physical activities. Also, in Santa Ana, there's a new clinic called the Chalk Hospital Clinic for children to get their checkups. And the public felt that sanitation and personal hygiene with the increasing number of homelessness was a major problem in the city. There's also sanitation stations that nobody uses, and there's also a huge drug addiction problem, especially marijuana use. You can smell it in some areas, and you can also smell a lot of smoke and gas from the cars. Also, there doesn't seem to be many preventive care and education. Also, medical centers are few, and checkups don't seem to happen very much. When I interviewed the stakeholders of the Fountain Valley population, Diana, the program director of Boys and Girls Clubs, stated that obesity in children was one of the major health issues that she's seen in the population. Also, the flu season brings a lot of respiratory illnesses, but this has improved due to immunizations being up to date because there's a lot of education in that. Also, they have a transportation program that keeps the children safe. When I was talking to Jane, she was working on a plan called Orange County Healthier Together program, and this targets to improve infant, child diabetes, and behavioral health, and also the elderly population and their chronic illnesses. She stated that they focus on immunization rates, and that the biggest concern for these programs are that they should be better funded and should be encouraged to work together better. And she thinks that's the problem. And then the public felt that that fitness and health seems to be very popular in the community. And if you look around, everyone is usually working out at the park and at all the fitness centers, walking around the streets with their dogs. Obesity was the main concern, but it doesn't seem that way. And there's also fast food places, but fitness centers are also growing to balance that out. Homelessness seems to be increasing, usually during this time of the year. There's also many services in Fountain Valley at every street corner, and they definitely do not go hungry. There's also many great hospitals that are close by. So before I end this presentation, looking back, I would say that I would love to work and live in Fountain Valley because there are so many resources, transportation is efficient, and I would be able to get around very fast, and everything's close by, and gyms are definitely accessible. Health is very important to me, so environmental cleanliness is also a big factor. In Santa Ana, I would definitely not want to live there because of the environmental uncleanliness, and I just would not feel safe there. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening and watching.